Today I'm going to show you how to resurface lenses on your Mini. Stick around and check it out. This is the equipment you're going to be using. You're going to start with 1000 grit and go to 2500, then you're going to go to 3000 grit. After that you're going to be doing 2 polishing stages with the same compound using 2 different pads, an orange and then a white. After that you're going to go over and you're going to use the sealant, and we also have our water and our inspection light as well. First step on taking care of these lenses and resurfacing them is to get rid of the surface dirt. We're going to be using a little bit of Chemical Guys Canada's Glassworkz cleaner just to wipe it off, and we're going to be using one of their Workhorse towels, microfiber towels, throughout the project just to clean up. You just want a clean surface to start from for your tape, which is the next step. Taping up the perimeter edges of the entire piece. Using small pieces of tape, you want to go around the perimeter, only small pieces in this case because of the curve. You're not going to be able to curve it. And you're just trying to get in and protect the chrome bits from your sanding and polishing later. Your first thing you're going to start with is 1000 grit. Sometimes, depending on the age or the quality of the lens, if it's yellowed heavily or if it's completely foggy, I'll even step down to 800 grit. Just going to take a tiny piece off of the sheet. Something like that, something that's easily handled just by your fingertips. Start by wetting your sandpaper and laying down a good layer of water. And you're just going to start sanding away. Any of this milky compound or milkiness that you see coming off of here is actually the plastic itself. What you're doing is resurfacing it. You're not just polishing this. You're going to be putting down layers of progressively smaller and smaller scratches. And what we're seeing here, this milkiness, is actually the plastic itself coming off. You're taking off all of the grit, all of the contaminants that are on there, or any of the scratches, hopefully the smaller ones. You're not going to get rid of most of the pitting, but you're going to be able to get most of it off. So what you're doing whenever you're doing a wet sand is continually adding water to lubricate and to take the contaminants off of the sandpaper. The goal is to keep the sandpaper's grit working. I'm applying a pretty good amount of pressure. I'm letting the sandpaper do its work by the actual grit level. Okay, once it's wiped off, you can start inspecting to seeing the areas that you still need to hit. It's quite clear once you dry it off. What you want is even. One of the things you want to make sure to do is go and get the edges of your lens. Having clean lenses is nice, but having edge-to-edge clarity and shine really makes a difference. This job from start to finish can be done in around 30 minutes. However, this step is the most important step, as it is the one that gets rid of all of the problem areas on the lens. If you run your hand over it, you're going to feel a huge difference already. That is an even sanding. What we're going to do is remove all of these scratches and progressively make it smoother and smoother. What you're seeing here I've labeled as a 2000 grit. It's actually 2500 grit. The product is from Chemical Guys Canada. In this case is their sanding block, and it has an adhesive back to it that allows you to use their sheets of paper. The great thing about this double foam block is that the thinner foam here allows it to compress and to get into the different shapes of the lens. We're just going to start with the 2500. We're going to lubricate the sanding block first, and then once again start. Now I found this 2500 and the 3000 grit to go actually a long way. This block here is done over 7 lenses now on the same piece of paper. Okay, you're now going to notice that the fogginess is lifting. The scratches are becoming smaller and smaller, and if you look closely you're going to be able to see that it's becoming fogged versus scratched. And the next step with the 3500 grit is going to make it even less scratched looking. Okay, final wet sanding grit. It's now 3000 I've labeled here, but it's actually 3500, again from Chemical Guys Canada. Same process, lubricate the area and go to town with your sanding. All right, 3500 grit's done. Chemical Guys sells a kit that comes with this yellow adapter a screw for your drill, center up your pad with the hook and loop. We're going to be using the Chemical Guys Headlight Restorer. We're going to put 4 small dabs. We're going to spread those dabs around on the surface to get even coverage. Now the great thing about a Mini is the fact that the headlights are circular, so you don't have to worry about square corners or anything like that. So getting the edge done is really no problem at all. So here we go. We're now going to do the same thing again, this time with the Hex-Logic white, and this time we're only going to use 3 dabs. Spread it around like you did before. Here we go. All done. Now that you have the lens resurfaced, this is not polishing that people call it. This is resurfacing. This surface is entirely virgin plastic. What you need to do is seal it right now. And what I use is the Chemical Guys Jetseal product. You put it onto a foam applicator, also from Chemical Guys, spread it on an even coat. Gives you 12 months of UV protection. To apply it, thin coating, don't worry about getting it on the chrome bits at this point. Just going to put a thin coating on. I'm going to let it sit for 20 minutes. You're going to polish it off. It's 20 minutes later and now we have Chemical Guys Happy Ending Towel, and we're going to buff off the remainder of the jet dry. This is the final step. Now your lens is protected for UV. It also has a hydrophobic action about it too. And once you're all polished up, you're done. And there it is. You give yourself about half an hour to 45 minutes. A lens, take your time, do the job right. Resurfaced, protected, everything, and now it's crystal clear. Have a good one. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube for more videos like this.